we got some breaking news that Johnathan Abram is unfortunately out for the entire season. So what happened was he, in that first quarter against the Denver Broncos, he had a torn labrum and also rotator cuff. Now, there isn't necessarily that much of a timetable on how long he's going to be out for or until when he's going to have the surgery, but it is looking like that he is out for the entire season. So basically what happened here, and if you're wondering where the heck I am, I'm at my home. We couldn't get into the studio at Chat Sports. We couldn't get a producer. It's all good. We're going to try something new anyway. So we're going to do this the exact same way. So Harley, I see you. Angel, I see you. Eric, I appreciate everyone who's watching right now, the Raiders Report. If you don't know who I am, my name is Mitchell Renz, and you guys can hit me up on IG and Twitter at Mitchell Renz 365. So the reason why we were doing this breaking random show from my house is because safety Johnathan Abram, who the Oakland Raiders drafted at 27th overall in the 2019 NFL Draft, his season is likely over. And it's an interesting thing because today Coach John Gruden spoke a little bit about Johnathan Abram and his reckless play. So Abram, we know, is a hard-hitting dude who really likes to lay it on out there. The real issue here is the fact that now he's out for the entire season due to that torn labrum, due to the torn rotator cuff. Now, he is likely to have surgery, okay? Likely to have surgery on that rotator cuff and labrum this week. Once we know more about the injury itself and like the timetable, we'll be able to predict when he's going to be back this or next season. But from what it looks like right now, safety Johnathan Abram, who the Raiders drafted in that first round, is likely out for the year. Now, I'm going to spin this and put this on some now good news. The good news is it looks like Gareon Conley, who was in a contact with Abram, has a chance to play. So it came out today that it was originally believed that the neck injury that Gareon Conley suffered was a lot worse. The only thing Gareon came out and said that it's just protocol when a player experiences that type of injury that you actually have to get wrapped up the way that he did. He was able to give the thumbs up. So here's the thing now. Now with the Raiders going forward, they have a very tough matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs. So the way that I want this to work, I know it looks a lot different, and I apologize for not being at the studio, but I'm here. I'm doing what I can. So if we can get some comments for Abram in the comments section, I hope this guy can rest up. I'm also seeing a lot of questions or a lot of comments on who should the Raiders should go out and get, and it's looking like Eric Berry. So how about this? If you're watching this live right now on YouTube, which I'm pretty sure that's the only place I am live, if you want Eric Berry, comment why, okay? Comment why. And it's also looking like the Oakland Raiders, they're here helping me in the Raiders Report. I appreciate it. If you guys, one-word reaction to that Eric or to the Johnathan Abram injury. I'm sitting here chilling. I'm actually getting ready to hop in the shower. And then all of a sudden I see the news break and I was like, oh, shit. That's really bad. I mean, Raider Boy has a great one time. Yeah, absolutely. And when I really think about everything that's happened to the Raiders defense, yesterday they had a great game. They really showed out against the Denver Broncos team. And the thing that I love about Johnathan Abram was his physicality and the fact that, honestly, man, he was coming out and, yeah, he was hitting people hard. But John Gruden also did say that the fact that Johnathan Abram is this like high-intensity guy, that he needs to take a step back. Now, the real interesting thing with this whole Johnathan Abram breaking news, if you're just joining us now, I know it looks a little bit different. It's all good. It's all good. Johnathan Abram, though, unfortunately for him, his season is likely over with that rotator cuff and torn labrum. So the report came out literally just about 10, 15 minutes ago that Abram suffered the torn labrum and rotator cuff injury in the first quarter of the Broncos game. So I look at that as two ways. One, like it's insane that the kid was able to play the rest of the game with a torn labrum and rotator cuff. That's some intense stuff. Like I know Johnathan Abram is a tough dude, but that's taking it to a whole nother level. Then you got to look at it this way, right? We have a tough matchup against the Chiefs. I don't like the Chiefs, but you could argue that they have the best defense or the best offense in the entire NFL. I mean, let's be honest, they really do. But they will not have Tyreek Hill. So now the issue is, are we going to have Gareon Conley, or are we going to have to rely on even younger players? Like Trayvon Mullen. I love Trayvon Mullen. We drafted him 40th overall. But he got roasted last week against Emmanuel Sanders. If you're struggling with Emmanuel Sanders, I'm really concerned on how you're going to be able to go up against a Chiefs team that, let's be honest, you have Sammy Watkins, and I can't even believe I'm saying it, but he had 198 yards and 3 touchdowns. Travis Kelce, who's one of the best tight ends in the league, 3 catches, 88 yards last week. And that's up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the question that I want to ask all y'all right now, okay? Ask all y'all right now. For people watching, what's going on, people, the real issue here is Johnathan Abram. He is out for the entire 2019 season, likely to have surgery this week. He's got a torn rotator cuff and torn labrum, which is obviously then going to end his season. So here's something that I thought was interesting. We talked a lot about Jalen Ramsay in the offseason, and I've had a few people ask me about Jalen Ramsay. If knowing right now that we could now save that money that we did on AB, and if we lose a player like Johnathan Abram, would you guys be okay with the Raiders going out and maybe potentially trading for a player as high caliber as a Jalen Ramsay? Or I see a bunch of people commenting right now. I mean, we have over 460 people live right now on YouTube, so I appreciate that. Yes, I do see that he is getting a second opinion on his shoulder, which is good news. But I see a lot of people also commenting on Eric Berry. So would you guys, how about this? Would you rather the Raiders go out and trade for Jalen Ramsay or go out and sign Eric Berry? So the interesting thing with Eric Berry is the dude's only playing in 3 games the last 2 years. Okay, like we know Eric Berry when he's on the field is good. The issue has been, can he stay on the field? So I see a lot of Eric Berry. I see some people joking around with Charles Woodson. I would love to bring him back. But Jalen Ramsay or Eric Berry, yeah, George Iloka's another one out there from Elijah Duncan. So I know, again, guys, this is a little bit different. So I want in your comment section your one-word reaction, okay? One-word reaction to the breaking news that Johnathan Abram season is likely over with a torn labrum, with a torn rotator cuff. He is going to get a second opinion, but from what it looks like right now from sources close to us here at Chat Sports, it does look like Johnathan Abram, the Raiders' first-round rookie, 27th overall, is likely done for this season. So I appreciate Joe Valdez watching, Manuel, Julio, Abram, Daryl Kroon, 038, Scavius, Desert Raider. I appreciate y'all watching. If my voice sounds terrible, it's probably 2 reasons. One, I don't have my actual mic pack here. And probably the other reason is, well, I just came back from Oakland. I was getting ready to go to bed and then got some breaking news around Johnathan Abram. So everyone who's watching right now, we got 465. Again, I understand if you're wondering where the heck I am at my home, in my house, and I was getting ready, like I said, to go to bed. I've had a hell of a day. I appreciate everyone who's watching the show. So I see a lot of Eric Berry's, Cam Chancellor. I don't really think that's it. You like the flag. The flag, if anybody likes the flag, I want you to type flag in the comment section. And how about this, all right? If you want this flag, I can tell you exactly where to get it. I'll send you the details. You just got to hit me up on IG at Mitchell Renz 365. And the studio, this is not in the studio. This is at my apartment. And I would really appreciate if you guys would subscribe to the Oakland Raiders Report. I don't know too many people out there right now at the most random times from their homes. So please subscribe if you're a real Raiders fan. I would definitely appreciate that. Isaac Moran, man, I love you guys. I love the same flag in my room. That's what's up. If you guys like this flag, all right, let me know in the comments section if you want it. And then hit me up on IG or on Twitter at Mitchell Renz 365, and I can let you guys know how to get this flag because I can help you get it. One of our sponsors, they're the ones that hook us up. So big man U2 just said, are you serious? Yes, I am 100% serious. If you're watching this video, you're just tuning in. The breaking news here is that safety Johnathan Abram apparently suffered in the first quarter against the Denver Broncos a torn labrum and a torn rotator cuff, and his season is likely over. Now, he is going to get a second opinion on that, but unfortunately, it's not looking too good. So we're at about 9 minutes here. I still want to keep talking through the whole Johnathan Abram thing. So we're going to go a little bit off the cuff here, right? I mean, today I got no producer. I'm just doing my own thing. So the way that I want this to work is just like any other show that we do. So please subscribe below, okay? Please subscribe below to the Oakland Raiders Report. I would definitely appreciate that. We continue to pump out a whole bunch of content every single day. Man, I don't even know the last time I got an entire, 8 hours of sleep. Subscribe, click that big red button below. Click that big red button below and subscribe to the Oakland Raiders Report. We're going live a whole bunch, pumping out a whole bunch of great content. Michael Saber says, great show. I appreciate you. And then a whole bunch of FABs in the comment section. I went to the Raiders game this past week against the Denver Broncos. The first time I've ever been in Oakland, and it was an unbelievable experience. My bad. I'm back. It's all good. I'm not going to go anywhere. So appreciate everyone who loves the show. So let's do this. The way that we normally do it is once breaking news happens, we start opening up the questions, okay? So use hashtag Raiders right now, okay? If I see that you guys use hashtag Raiders, I don't have a producer. I can't put you on screen, but I will give you a personal shout out, and then we can, keep it going. Thanks for all the hard work, Mitch. Hashtag Raiders. That one's from Toby. Appreciate you, Toby. Let's go to Mad Vet. Think we could bring in a Barry and get Ramsay next year. If we can go out and potentially get in the Eric Berry, I mean, that definitely would help the defense. It's just, I don't know if he's 100% healthy because Eric Berry, when fully healthy, there would be a lot of teams that would go out and get him. Right now, the way that I look at it is the Raiders played super well, and if we're already going to be potentially down Conley, and now we're going to be without Johnathan Abram, maybe spending some of that extra money that we saved on AB and going out and get Jalen Ramsay because he does want to be a Raider. Like, let's not forget that. He does want to be a Raider. What do you think we'll do now? This one's from Jose. Jose, man, I think we got to pray. And I think we just got to pray that we can get Gary on Conley back, and you just got to take it one step at a time. It's an unfortunate thing, and I'm not going to sit here and say that there's a player, honestly, out in the waiver wire right now that the Raiders could add and make their defense as good with Johnathan Abram. Johnathan Abram's a tone setter, and for anybody who was actually at that game in Oakland, the dude was pumping everyone up. So I love Johnathan Abram. He's a really fun rookie. Was definitely a leader on that team. But for me, if you could honestly give me who I want to go out and get, sure, it'd be cost us a lot of money. But I actually probably wouldn't mind going out right now and get get Jalen Ramsay. So let's see. Juicehead says Ramsay. Alonzo says, "You the man, Mitch. Working hard, getting a picture. Well, get a picture." Here's the thing, guys. To get a picture, you got to go on your desktop. All right. Don't try to do it on mobile. Go on an actual computer, sign into YouTube, and then you can change your picture. Hopefully, after hearing all that, I'm changing some lives here. We don't want him. All right. So Joshua says he doesn't want Jalen Ramsay. So how about this? Do you guys want Jalen Ramsay? Y for yes or N for no? Do you want Jalen Ramsay to be a Raider? Type Y for yes or type N for no. I'm going to try to adjust my camera here, and I need to get a drink. Also, today's show, not actually brought to you by Fuzzy Tacos, but if you need a sponsor, they make good tacos down here in Texas. And my voice is, I don't even know if I'll have a voice for tomorrow. I'm seeing a lot of whys in the comments section, a lot of whys that the Raiders should go out and trade for Jalen Ramsay. And then Lau comes in with the no. It's all good. You could change your pick on mobile. Well, Sins, then there's no excuse for people to not change their pick. All right, let's get the comments again. Let's keep them flowing in here. I'm doing my best to read them. They're coming in very, very quick, and I definitely appreciate that. Yes, the restaurant here in Texas is actually called Fuzzy Tacos. They make good tacos, but I promise you they're not fuzzy. So use hashtag Raiders in the comment section to get your comments here on the show. So what about Reggie Nelson from Joe? Here's the thing. I think Reggie definitely lost a few steps last year, and I think that was pretty obvious for this team. Reggie is no doubt a leader, but I think in terms of like what the Raiders actually need, I don't really think Reggie Nelson would be a good fit. If you want to add him onto the team to maybe be like a player coach, sure. But I am also a believer that the Raiders right now with that defense with like players like Vontaze Burfict, I understand he's not a safety, but they also have a lot of leaders. I would want to go out and get somebody who I think could actually make a huge impact for this team. I don't think Reggie Nelson sucks. I think he's just older, right? I mean, I just think he just got a little bit older. We need either safety or next man up. So I think what's going to be interesting here is what the Raiders could do with LaMarcus Joyner, right? I mean, if I'm the Raiders, we have Carlo Joseph, who had 7 tackles against the Broncos. LaMarcus Joyner, who played great, but he played a lot in the nickel. I would probably move LaMarcus Joyner back to free safety, let Carl Joseph play strong safety. And then you're going to have to rely on, this is where it's going to be interesting, you potentially have to rely on, if Gary Conley can play, that's great. Or, though, you're going to be looking at 2 rookies, right? I mean, you're going to be looking at Keyshawn Nixon and you're going to be looking at Trayvon Mullen. Can those players really step up and go up against a Chiefs team that I'll say is the best offense in the league? What the hell happened? So, David Roby, if you're just tuning in, 2 things. 1, make sure you guys turn on your notifications so you know exactly when I go live. And the show, it does look a little bit different. It's because I'm at my home here in Dallas, Texas. Couldn't make it into the studio, couldn't get a producer. So the breaking news here is that Johnathan Abram is likely out for the entire season. He tore his rotator cuff and his labrum in the game Monday against the Denver Broncos. The injury apparently happened in the first quarter. So the reason that we went live here is because obviously if it does come down and the sources are confirmed that Abram is out for the year, That's really, really unfortunate for the Oakland Raiders, who I thought played a great game against the Denver Broncos. And then we're going to potentially have to look into some other players. I think Max Sherman has a good idea here. He put number 24. Can we get some 24s in the comment section for Johnathan Abram? Like, Hard Knocks, he was one of the most entertaining players on the team. And if you went to the game in Oakland against the Denver Broncos, you'll know he was one of the defensive leaders. He was getting people hyped up on everything that he was freaking doing. And I appreciate for the 510 people that are watching us live, let's get some 24s in the comments section. If you're wondering why we're all doing 24s in the comments section, it's because rookie Johnathan Abram is likely out for this season. And then Victor Ford just tweeted out the next man up is going to be Curtis Riley. So that's pretty interesting. So from what it looks like, the Raiders, they're going to put Curtis Riley and Carl Joseph there in the back, and then they're going to let LaMarcus Joyner continue to play corner. Hopefully, fingers crossed that we can get Garyon Conley back because we have a big matchup going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. So a lot of 24s in the comment section. Yes, Eric Harris is also a name there. But from what it looks like, I don't know, Victor Four, he's a pretty solid dude. Puts out good work. Looking like it's going to be Curtis Riley. Jake says, dude, I appreciate all you do, man. See, I don't do what I do just because I mean, yeah, it's my job, but I tell you guys right now, like, I love the nation and you all mean a lot to me. So it don't need to say thank you. I think the easiest way for you guys to say thank you is to subscribe, share the show, because the more we do the show, the more, I can give out free stuff. I want to be able to give out some shirts. If you guys like the flag, maybe we'll give out some flags this week. Thanks to Raider Nation Store. So all good. It's all good. David Roby, thanks, my brother. So, Ken, let's get these questions flowing in here. Use hashtag Raiders in the comments section. I want your initial reaction to this Johnathan Abram breaking news, okay? So Johnathan Abram's season is likely over. So I want your quick reaction to this, and then that way we can answer some questions. Even though I live in Texas, well, Texas, it's where Chat Sports is located. And how about this? If you want to get Chat Sports, a studio in Vegas or in Oakland, if you're paying, I'm all about it. So free agent Obi Melifonwu, no, I don't want Obi. Obi is the primetime example, again, of another player who is super talented. He just doesn't have it up here and he can't put it together. I don't want Obi. How likely is it that he will play? If you're talking about Johnathan Abram's season is about 90, I would say 9% sure that his season is over. He has a torn labrum and he is going to get a second opinion, but from what it looks like, sources close to us as well at Chat Sports, it does not look very good for, unfortunately, Johnathan Abram. Looks like his rookie season is over. Rest in peace, Neron Bell. Yeah, I did see this. Rest in peace to Ball. Very, very sad story. Former Florida player, former Raider player as well. And it's a big believer of, once a Raider, always a Raider. And I'm not even going to say AB was ever a Raider. It doesn't apply to him. But let's get some RIPs in the comment section for Ball. Really, really sad news coming out that I saw that today. So very, very sad news there. I see it again. A lot of Eric Berries. It's a lot of Eric Berries there in the comment section. Is he getting a second opinion? This question is regarding Johnathan Abram. Yes, he is getting a second opinion, but again, from sources who I trust very, very close to us, it does not look like that Johnathan Abram is going to be playing this year. How is Garyon Conley from Herman or Huram? Hopefully I pronounced that right. So Garyon Conley, the good news is it doesn't look like he's going to really miss a lot of time. He's still about a 50% chance to play this week against the Kansas City Chiefs, but we'll have to see, going forward how healthy he is. So how about this? I'm going to ask you guys a question, okay? Can't say Eric Berry. Can't say Jalen Ramsay. Who is a player that the Raiders should look at to go out and get, okay? Who is a player that the Raiders should go out and try to fill that void for Johnathan Abram? Now, right now, from what it looks like, we're going to be relying on Curtis Riley. Eric Harris is another player that has to step up. So I'm very curious on what you guys have to say. What will we have to give up for Jalen Ramsay? I would say a whole bunch of money, a first-round pick, and then maybe a little bit more. But another team that you need to keep an eye on, okay, another team you need to keep an eye on is the Dolphins. So I'm going to be talking about this a little bit. I see somebody says Chris Warren. Love y'all. I've heard from multiple people close to us here at Chat Sports also that the Miami Dolphins players, once they got whooped against the Ravens, a lot of the veteran players were like, I want to get the hell out of here. So maybe, just maybe, the Raiders could maybe look to go out and maybe get some Dolphins, but I don't know if those Dolphins are going to be very good. So Minkah Fitzpatrick is a very good name, and I would say that's probably the name I was going to get ready to talk to. So I will probably have to drop a video. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow, maybe as soon as I get in, on the top 5 replacements for Johnathan Abram. So if you guys have any suggestions for me, make sure you guys are hitting me up on IG and on Twitter at Mitchell Renz 365. And if this is the first time you've ever seen the Raiders report, I promise you this is not what it normally looks like. This is at my home here in Dallas, Texas, and I couldn't go into the studio. We couldn't get a producer, unfortunately. We've been super busy, as you can imagine, with the with the news around Antonio Clown and just the Raiders in general. So couldn't go in. It's all good. But if you guys are watching this for the first time, please subscribe. It's youtube.com/Raiders Report, or click the red button below. Okay, click the big red button below. I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. And if you're a subscriber already, please type S in the comments section. I'll give you guys some shout outs here. So who is better, Dak or Carr? To be honest with you, I mean, this past week, I think Dak was better than Derek Carr this past week. But if you could still ask me which quarterback do I think has a higher upside, I'm going to go with Derek Carr just because, I don't know. I'm a big believer that Dak, to me, can't beat good teams. And sure, he played great against the Giants, but I don't know. It's the Giants to me. So seeing some Caitlin. Caitlin, we met this weekend, so that was really nice to meet you. Let's see who else. Ken, Honnold, Ken, Viper. Appreciate you guys subscribing. Also, if we did take pictures this weekend at the Raiders game, please tag me in them on Twitter, on Instagram at Mitchell Renz 365. Don't want to hear anybody say we should pick up Mike Mitchell. Thumbs down. Yeah, don't trust anybody with the name Mitchell. Drink a beer to mitigate that sore throat. How about this? So there's a restaurant down here in Texas, and I'm not kidding you when I say it. It's literally called Fuzzy Tacos. So how about just some water? If my voice sounds that bad, I am sorry. It's been one hell of a weekend with a lot of drinking going on. It's been a lot of stuff happening and a lot of screaming at the Raiders game. So I'm trying to push through this. I'm trying to push through this. Why does everyone keep mentioning Obi? I have no idea. I'm not an Obi believer whatsoever. Somebody said tequila. I don't need anything to drink. All I need is some water. So again, continue to get those comments in there. I see somebody's asking about the flag. I can give you some details on the flag. Just hit me up on IG or Twitter at Mitchell Renz 365. Use hashtag Raiders, guys, in the comments section. We're going to continue to get this breaking news rolling. We got over 500 people watching us live on YouTube. If you didn't watch this live, make sure you turn on those notifications so you know exactly when we do go live here. And yes, we're not at the normal studio. I am at my home. The news that's going down is breaking news around Johnathan Abram. It came out that he apparently, in the first quarter of the Monday Night Football game against the Denver Broncos, tore his labrum and his rotator cuff. And he is getting a second opinion, but his season is likely over. So this is obviously very, very bad news for the Oakland Raiders, and the fact that we're going to be now likely without our first-round draft pick, 27th overall, Johnathan Abram, who I'll say is a big leader in that locker room, a big leader on the field, is definitely going to be a huge hit to us. So I want to see some 24s in the comments section. I think that'd be great. Abram is one of my favorite players, and I know for a bunch of you guys who have, been on the show multiple times. So 559, Caitlin, Manuel, I appreciate all the 24s. Tatiana Flucker, great last name, absolutely great last name. Jose, Alonzo, James, all need to get some pictures. OG Choi, appreciate you typing in those 24s. So please subscribe to our channel. It's youtube.com/Raiders Report. Click that big red button right now. And I know it doesn't look like it normally does, but I'm sorry. It was either this or you weren't going to get a video at all. So make sure you guys subscribe. I would definitely appreciate it. But let's get back to some of these questions now, okay? So use hashtag Raiders, and I'm going to do my best to get as much of these questions as I possibly can on the show. So if you're just tuning in, Johnathan Abram, his season is likely over with a torn labrum, torn rotator cuff. I'm probably going to be saying that in my sleep tonight. So the question I just got is, what about Jalen Ramsay? Now, Jalen Ramsay is going to be the popular player who we've talked about multiple times on the Raiders report for trades. But about a month ago, Jalen did say he wants to be a Raider. And now the fact that the Raiders are saving all that money because they don't have Antonio Clown on the team anymore, I think you could look for the Raiders to make a move. But also an important name, and I think an interesting name, is Minkah Fitzpatrick. So according to some people, I got to talk to some more sources tomorrow once I get into work. Apparently, the Dolphins players were super upset that they got absolutely just ripped apart by the Ravens, and some of the players are looking to get traded. Minkah Fitzpatrick, I think, would be a very, very interesting player there. Can we just get a Q&A about you? All right, how about this? You guys, how about this? You guys can ask me literally anything you want, okay? For the next 1 minute, it is any question you want to know. about me. And if there's none that come in, well, then we're just going to answer some Raiders questions. Sound good? What would it take to make a Canadian version of that flag? How about this? DM Raider Nation store on IG, and then we'll figure it out. Can't do. Hope 24 recovers quickly. Agree. Do you smoke? I do not. Never have, never will. You like cheeseburgers? Who doesn't like cheeseburgers? American cheese. What would it take to make a Canadian flag? I already answered that one. All right, now they're rolling in. Where do you live in Texas? I live in Dallas, Texas. Are you high? No. Are you a virgin? No. Charles Woodson, come back for the year. Interesting. You could come to Oklahoma. Hey, if I get an invite to Oklahoma, I'm all about it. Mexican or white girls? Both. Why not both? Minka is still in his rookie contract. I doubt it. I'm actually kind of with you there. It's just a pipe dream. Yo, Mitch, how long have you been a Raider fan? So here's the thing. I said once I go to a Raiders game, I'll become a Raiders fan. So about 24 hours. Your height. I am 5'10 and 170 pounds. How many beers you drink this weekend? I'll say I drank probably about 12 beers, but I had probably an entire, I don't know, I probably had 50 shots. Bo Jackson or the Boss? I'm going to go Bo Jackson. Tom Dallas. Tom's a great dude. Dallas is a really nice city. Are you high? No, I do not smoke. I only drink. Raiders named my son after Derek Carr. That's some dope shit from Eric. Yo, when you are coming to California, I've been to California 4 times in the last 4 months, so I'm doing a whole bunch of that. Who's your favorite college football team? Penn State. Grew up in Pennsylvania. Come to Coachella in California if you're paying for my tickets. How much for a pint in the Coliseum? I did not buy a beer in the Coliseum, and to be honest, I really didn't have to buy any beer or buy any food because the nation was literally just feeding me stuff, so it's all good. How many girls you banged? DM me and I'll give you the answer. Trade for Rashad Jones. That's a pretty interesting scenario. Favorite song? I'll say what. I've been listening to the Post Malone album on absolute repeat. What's my favorite beer? Probably Rebel Juiced IPA from Samuel Adams. Mitch, what's up with those earpieces? I had to get earpieces. Don't have a headset. Coca-Cola or Pepsi? Coke. Eric Berry. Never heard of him. Did you hurt his shoulder in practice or the game? So Johnathan Abram hurt his shoulder in the first quarter against the Denver Broncos, and apparently he's now out for the season. Post Malone is good. Could not agree with you anymore. Who is your favorite Raider of all time? It's Bo Jackson. I like the fact that he played football and that he played baseball. Shock Top is a great beer. Who's your favorite player ever? My favorite actual, like, not just Raider. Bo's my favorite Raider. My favorite player is Drew Brees. I just think what he did for the entire city. Plus, he was a quarterback in my fantasy team the first time I won it for my family. If Conley is out for the season, you think we draft a corner next year with one of our first round picks? Here's the thing, Raider boy. I'm not the draft guy at Chat Sports. Hit up Tom at What Going Downey. Are you going to the game this week? Unfortunately, I am not, but I will do a host watch party. Mitch, do you have an undershirt on? No undershirt, just skin. Stay up, Mitch, bro. I'm out. Cool, man. Appreciate you guys watching live. Still got over 500 people. Are you going to every game? I wish I could, unless someone else is paying for my tickets. Vegas looks for me. Rudy or any given Sunday? I'm going to go Rudy. Do you play football? No, never did. Is Curtis Riley good? He's okay. Probably about a C player. Do you think Penn State can win the Big Ten? I'm going to go with Ohio State, but don't tell my boss James because he's a Michigan guy. Kiko Alonso, very interesting player, but I don't think he's going to be one of the players we go after. You going to Monday night? I don't think so. 1 minute is no more questions. Are you gay? I am not gay. So if you guys have any other questions, make sure you use hashtag Raiders. We can get back to it. So a lot of random questions. It's all good. Oh boy, I'm watching from James. Go follow James at James T. Yoder. If you guys are just tuning in, so what's happening right now is the fact that the Raiders season for Johnathan Abram is likely over. And if you watch the last 5 minutes of all those random questions, that's what you're going to get here at the Raiders Report. I want this show to be interactive. I want you guys to get to know me, and I want to get to know you guys a little bit better. We'll probably do this for another like 4 or 5 minutes, and then I would like to get some sleep. I got to get up really early tomorrow, head into work, and probably do a 5 players that the Raiders can replace for Johnathan Abram. So if you're wondering why I'm here and in my room, it's because Johnathan Abram is likely out for the season with the torn rotator cuff and torn labrum. So that's probably going to likely end the rookie season. He is going to get a second opinion, and it's really unfortunate. But hey, it's one of those things. Shit happens, and I think the way that this team's going to be able to handle adversity is going to really show how much control I think Gruden and how much control we have going forward. Counting Tuck AB. All right. The amount of chance that we had for FAB was absolutely insane in that game. So let's get some FABs in the comment section. I don't really want to talk about the clown too much, but hey, if we can get some FABs, I'm definitely not opposed to it. And then today's drinks are being brought to you by Fuzzy Taco Shop. And if you guys don't know what Fuzzy Taco is, then it's a really good taco place here in Texas. I'm going to go pink. A lot of FABs in the comments section, and we get an FAB from the Oakland Raiders report. Make sure you guys subscribe to us on YouTube at youtube.com/Raiders Report. I'll keep answering questions, and if I miss any of your questions from this, just hit me up on IG or Twitter at Mitchell Renz 365, and I will do my best to go through and answer all these questions. I got a lot of people who are already hitting me up right now. So Fuzzy Tacos here in Colorado too, Mitch. It's pretty good stuff, man. Anytime to be honest, I get drunk, I normally go get some tacos. So will AB get suspended? I do not know. I don't really want to talk about Antonio Brown, and I want to talk about that entire situation. My Antonio Brown days, I'm hoping are over. Honestly, forget about AB. Who cares? I just wish we could trade his jersey for Williams. We might be able to help you out there. We'll see what's going on. Knock on wood if you're with me. Knock on wood. Get some KOWs in the comments section. My wife wants to know if you're single. It's a good question. I'm interested to know why your wife wants to know why I'm single. It's very interesting. Who cares about clown? Could not agree with you more. I would like for us to go after Eric Berry. That one's from Brent. Okay. Eric's only played in 3 games of the last 2 years. And is he fully healthy? I'm not 100% sure. Who is the backup to Abram? What it's looking like right now, Victor Ford just tweeted out while we went live that apparently they're going to need Curtis Riley to step up. So from what I'm seeing, from what I'm hearing, you're going to see a lot more Eric Harris, Curtis Riley, Carl Joseph. They're still going to keep LaMarcus Joyner at cornerback, and Garyon Conley's about a 50% chance that he plays up against the Kansas City Chiefs. So we'll see there. Am I excited for Keelan Doss? I am excited for Keelan Doss. I want to see him suit up. I don't know how much he's actually going to play, simply because, Darren Waller was used as that wide receiver too, honestly, in this last week's game. And Darren Waller looked absolutely incredible to me. So I'm really excited to see what the Raiders can do up against the Kansas City Chiefs team. Like, not taking anything away from the Raiders. They had a great game plan. They scripted it out. And if you watch my 10 most important players, a lot of the stuff that I said there, not to, toot my own horn, was actually pretty accurate. And the game plan was perfect that the Raiders did. So Gruden, you know, Tom Cable, that offensive line, Paul Gunther, Greg Olsen, they did an absolutely amazing job. But going up against the Kansas City Chiefs is a whole different animal. Whole different animal, but they're not going to have Tyreek Hill. And again, I think Karma's a real bitch there. But I'm excited to see what this Raiders team can do against a Super Bowl caliber team in the Chiefs. And the only way that we're really going to see how far this team really made it or is going to be able to make it is going out and beating the Chiefs. So if you think the Raiders are going to beat the Chiefs, okay, if the Raiders are going to beat the Chiefs, I want to see some R's in the comments section, okay? Put some R's in the comments section. You just made her blush. Say hello, Ruby, please. What up, Ruby? Kind of curious why your wife wants to know if I'm single or not. All right, so Mitchell, Jacob, Uriel, David, what's the odds of us winning next week? I would say if you guys need odds on anything, you should go to BetDSI. So go to chatsports.com/bet. Use my promo code Raiders120 for 120% deposit bonus. If you guys put down $50, you can get 60 for free. And for everyone who's out there saying right now that the Raiders are going to win that game, I'm telling you right now, if you go to BetDSI, you put your money where your mouth is, like, you're going to make a lot of money. Now, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but I bet you if you put down $5 on the Raiders, you're going to get probably like 3 times your investment. That's pretty good money there. So aloha from Hawaii. Aloha to you. Now, I love to see how likely it is. Go to Chat Sports. There it is. See that promo code? Raiders120. Chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code Raiders120. Cool. Can you guys do that for me? What happened to Abram? So I'll say it one more time, then I'm probably going to, skedaddle because I'd like to get some sleep. So basically what happened is Johnathan Abram in that first quarter up against the Denver Broncos apparently suffered a torn rotator cuff and a torn labrum. And from what it looks like, his season is likely over. He is going to get a second opinion, but sources close to us at Chat Sports are basically telling us that the season is likely over for Johnathan Abram. So look for players like Curtis Riley to step up, Eric Harris to step up, and you can guarantee that I'm going to be coming out with a video on 5 players that the Raiders could go out and sign or trade for to help replace Johnathan Abram. Now, this is how this is going to go. I'm getting ready to leave. I appreciate everyone who watched. So again, make sure if I missed your question, there was a lot of people flowing in here. So make sure you guys hit me up on IG or on Twitter at Mitchell Renz 365. My voice is about to go. All right. It's about to go. So before I go, I just want to say that I appreciate the nation. I appreciate you guys tuning in. We had over 400 people watching this entire time. And please get some 24s in the comments section. I'm hoping Johnathan Abram recovers very quickly from this torn labrum, from this torn rotator cuff, because he is a tone setter on that defense. And for the Raiders really to be able to go where they want to go in this long distance that they have with John Gruden, Johnathan Abram needs to get healthy. So Chris, Caitlin, Val, I appreciate y'all. I'm going to go to bed. Good night. I don't think this video is going to loop through. I don't have a producer. I don't know how this is going to go. We've never done this before. So good night, Raider Nation. I love you. And thanks for tuning in. And again, if you have any other questions, just hit me up on IG or on Twitter. All right, guys. Hopefully I can end this. Let's see.